floor?
4, please.
4. No 4th floor here, mister. Never has been. This is 3, mister. Far as we go. Far as anybody goes.
Thank you.
Look at those figures. On a national basis, an accident occurs every 5 minutes, resulting in death. One resulting in injury every 3 seconds. 83% of them due to carelessness. And the record of this community is even worse. Something's got to be done.
Well, it really isn't our responsibility, sir, to prevent accidents.
That's right, sir. We have authority merely to report them as they occur. Regulations clearly state this.
So there's nothing we can do about it.
Somebody's got to do something.
I have an idea, sir.
Eager beaver again.
Yes?
As you say, sir, somebody has got to do something about getting the folks down there to stop having accidents. Well, it so happens the community is having its annual fall festival. It's quite an all-out affair, sir. Really it is.
What'll you bet he tries to promote another trip for himself?
And there are all kinds of booths at this festival. So why wouldn't it be a good idea if we had a, well, that is to say, perhaps,
Daddy, could we have another ride in the merry-go-round?
Another ride? Why, you kids have already had it. If I have to watch that thing go round and round one more time, I'll turn green.
I'll watch them, dear. Why don't you take a walk down the Midway?
It's a deal. Hey, they ought to walk in circles for weeks after this. I just can't watch anything more that goes around without my head going around with it.
We'll meet you right here.
You bet, sir. Miss again. How about another chance? How about you, sir? Take a chance, 3 for a dime, win a beautiful prize.
No, not for me.
Too bad. Would you like to take another chance?
You said you were a star pitcher in high school.
Well, that was baseballs, Mabel, not little sticks with feathers in them.
Who the one says she still loves you, son? Well, hurry, hurry, hurry. Who's going to take another chance?
Well, this is an odd one. Who's running this? Chamber of Commerce?
Not exactly.
Don't remember it here last year.
No, I just had the idea.
What's the pitch?
The pitch? Oh, the pitch. Well, this booth is trying to get people not to take a chance.
Well, that's a new one. All your buddies down the line are trying to get folks to take chances, and you're trying to keep them from doing it.
Mine's the harder job.
Ah, not with me, it isn't. I don't toss nickels and dimes away on this stuff.
But this involves more than nickels and dimes. Much more.
Okay, then I just don't take chances.
Ah, but you do, George.
George? How do you know my name?
You took a chance just this morning.
This morning? I don't get this.
Watch the wheel, George. Watch the spinning wheel.
Oh, no. I've been looking at too many things go around. It makes me dizzy.
Watch the wheel, George. Remember, this morning, you took a chance at a railroad crossing. You won that time, George.
Won?
5 minutes. For 5 minutes, it would have cost you to wait for the long freight to pass by.
What is this, hypnotism?
And yesterday, you took another chance. Remember that one? You put a copper penny behind a blown-out fuse. You won this time, too, George. You won 12 minutes. The time it would have taken to go to the corner store to get a new fuse.
12 minutes, eh? Well, at least I won, and that's more than folks at these other booths are doing.
But the next chance you take, you may lose. Lose heavily.
Lose? Me? Not a chance. I'm lucky. Always have been.
Don't push your luck, George.
Spin the wheel again, I'll show you.
No. Just because you were lucky once, twice, doesn't mean that you can't lose, you know.
Yesterday, 5 minutes. This morning, 12 minutes. Come on, spin it.
Each time you win, you're that much closer to losing. Don't take a chance.
Okay, I'll give you a hocus-pocus wheel a whirl. Now, like I say, I don't go for any of this hocus-pocus stuff, but I must say that guy gave me a funny feeling. How he knew my name, I'll never know. You say you didn't see that booth, Carl, huh?
No, and I thought I'd cut them all, too.
That's funny. Well...
I have an idea, sir.
What, another one?
It's a little irregular, even a bit unusual.
That last one was most unusual.
A booth at a town festival.
Yes, I know. It didn't work out too well.
What is your idea this time?
Well, we know that accidents are actually on the increase in this community.
Yes. Go on.
Yes, sir. Well, the point is, what causes accidents?
Carelessness, most of them. We all know that.
Ah, yes, we do know that. But do we know why they are careless? I don't. Do you? Do you? So, why don't we bring one of them from down there up here and find out? George.
Yeah? Oh, it's you. Say, I've been hoping I'd run into you again. About that hocus-pocus business last night.
The boss would like to see you, George.
The boss? What boss? I'm boss here.
This way, please.
Say, what is all this? This place is really out of this world.
That's one way of explaining it.
Where are we, anyway?
Department of Events and Happenings, in charge of recording everything that takes place.
Never heard of it.
We get very little publicity. George Potter, sir. And there's something that I feel you should...
Mr. Potter, we want your help.
My help?
Yes. Look here. Look at the accidents that have happened in your community during the past year. Homes, for example. Accidents in every room in the house, as well as the basement and garage. Practically all of them due to carelessness. Why is it, George Potter, that so many of you people down there are careless?
Well, frankly, I haven't given that much thought.
Can't you people see that if carelessness is wiped out, accidents will be virtually eliminated?
But you can't prevent accidents. They just happen.
Nothing just happens, not even here.
Well, I don't see how else you can explain them.
There must be some way to prevent accidents.
No, it's no use. It's strictly a matter of luck. So many accidents are going to happen every year, no matter what. And if your number comes up, you're going to have one. If it doesn't, you won't. That's the way I see it.
He's the kind of fellow who takes chances, sir. Very typical.
All right, maybe I do now and then. What's wrong with that? Nothing ever happens to me. You said yourself I won, what was it, 5 minutes and 12 minutes by taking chances yesterday and the day before.
I also said the next chance you took
might cause an accident? Not me. I'm lucky.
I think there's something you should know.
Lucky, George Potter? Let me tell you something. You and people who think as you do are just plain not smart. Maybe you think an accident just can't happen to you. Maybe you think there's just nothing you can do to prevent your own accidents. Maybe it helps your ego to think this way, George Potter, but it's not safe. Safe for you, your family, or the people you work with. Remember, your carelessness can cause harm not only to yourself, but to others as well.
If I may interrupt,
I
sir.
know now why people like you are careless. You just don't think. You just don't realize the importance of your own safety to you. That you're the person responsible for your own safety. Fortunately, not everyone has an attitude toward the prevention of accidents like yours, George Potter. Here is an industrial plant, for example. A lot of people working with a great deal of moving machinery. You might think they'd have more accidents, but they don't. Actually, records show it's the safest place in town. Somebody is doing something there to eliminate the main cause of all accidents, carelessness, and indifference to fundamental rules of safety. Take this man down there. Find out why their safety record is so outstanding.
The only thing is,
If we
sir...
can prove to George Potter it pays not to take chances, then it can be proven to others.
But as I was saying, sir, the only thing is... Yes, sir. This way, George.
Oh, now, just a second. I'm sorry I haven't been able to help you, but I gotta get back on the job.
Oh, this won't take long.
Well, maybe it won't take long, but... Doggone it, here we go again. But this is a school, not an industrial plant.
Yes, I know. Their safety record is good, too. I just thought we'd stop in for a moment on our way. Now, remember, no one will be able to see you or hear you. It's a special arrangement we have. Oh, quite within regulations.
When the light is red, what is it we do, children?
Always stop when the light is red. Always, always.
That's right, Mary. Always. Now then, when the light is yellow,
Never cross streets when the light is yellow. Never, never.
and when it is green,
First look both ways, then walk, don't run. Walk, don't run.
Maybe this is the reason their record is good, George.
Oh, that's okay, sure, but I still think it's luck. It's either with you or against you.
Isn't that one of the children we just saw?
Yeah, I think so.
Get right home after school. Get right home after school.
Say,
Mother said to hurry
I can hear
home.
the kid, but her lips aren't moving.
Two cookies
Oh,
and
naturally
milk on
not.
the
She's
table.
thinking.
Two cookies and milk on
You mean I can hear what she's thinking?
That's right.
Two cookies and
Quite
milk.
within regulations.
Mother
Regulations
said to
again,
hurry.
huh?
Mother said
You sure got a lot of them.
hurry. Hurry. Oh, darn yellow light.
She's going to cross. That car.
Mother said
Hey, wait a minute.
hurry home from school.
Can't hear you, George.
Cookies and milk.
Hey there, slow down. There's a law against speeding.
Good law, too. Mighty good law.
Teacher said never cross on the yellow.
That kid's all wound up with cookies and milk. Do
Never,
something.
no matter what. Milk cookies. Never on
Wish
the
I
yellow.
could. I sure wish I could.
I'll wait for the green.
That was close.
But she did stop.
Just in time.
But she did stop, George. She stopped and thought, just like her teacher told her to do. Driver training. Sounds interesting, George. Let's stop a minute.
You've been a good student, Miss Henderson.
Thank you, sir.
But remember, passing a test and having a driver's license doesn't make you a safe driver. Too many people think it does. It's what you do up here. The best safety rules in the world aren't a bit of good unless you obey them. Okay, and many miles of safe driving to you.
You know, she might not like this.
Hadn't thought of that.
Well, what if she objects?
I don't see how she can. She doesn't even know we're here. Nice car, eh, George?
Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Stuck behind a truck. Stuck behind a truck.
Now, wait a minute there, young lady. Let's don't get any funny ideas.
Pass on a hill. Pokey old truck. Having a driver's license doesn't.
Now, look, what did the guy just get through saying about using your noggin?
Doesn't make you a
Remember,
safe
you're
driver.
playing with the lives of two
Never
other
pass
human
on a
beings
hill.
here.
Probably nobody.
Well, one
Never
other
pass
anyway.
on a curve.
Can't you say
Never
something to her?
pass on a hill.
Awfully nice convertible, young lady. My favorite color, too.
Best safety rules are no good unless they are obeyed. 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 Obeyed.
Why'd we get out here?
This is our next stop. The safest place in the community. Actually, people are safer here than they are in their own homes. The records prove it.
The
looks a little wobbly. Not so good. Probably won't tip over. Probably won't. Can't be sure, though. Can't be sure, though. It could. Could fall on a man. Hurt him bad. Could fall on a man. Hurt him bad. Could fall. Can't take a chance. Can't take a chance. Could fall. You ain't gonna topple over there. You ain't gonna crown nobody. 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 The boss is right. Never take a chance. Never take a chance. The boss is right. Never take a chance. Never.
He stopped to think too, George. Maybe he prevented an accident because he did.
But that wouldn't have fallen over.
Maybe not, maybe so. He didn't trust to luck. He made sure it wouldn't.
What's the matter, Tony? Afraid somebody's gonna swipe it?
Nope, but now I'm sure it's all locked out. I ain't afraid somebody's gonna be starting it up while I'm working on it either. Just making sure I keep all my fingers. They're all I got, and I want to keep them.
Right.
Not so good. Not so good. A burr, that's what it is.
A doggone little burr.
Silly little hunk of steel.
We'll get you.
We'll get you right now.
Get you right now.
Maybe I can flip it out.
Should be easy.
Hey, not with your hand.
Only take a second.
You may accidentally trip the machine while your hand's in there. Don't be a goof.
Only take a second.
You want to lose your fingers?
Only
Don't
take a
do
second. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
What'd my foreman say?
Never use a hand.
Use a stick.
Use a rod. Use a bar. Use a wire.
Never use a hand.
He almost did a mighty silly thing that time.
Almost, George, but when it came to a showdown, he didn't. Maybe there's our answer. If people would stop and think before they take a chance, weigh the possible gain against the possible loss, the majority of accidents would be prevented. But how to get people to think?
I suppose you'd like to have more safety rules, huh?
No, there are plenty of rules now.
Maybe more signs?
Wherever you go now, there are safety signs. No, it takes something more. Something they must be doing in this plant, for instance. Safety director.
No, wait a minute. We can't just barge in there.
Oh, we won't barge in. We'll just ease in. Like this.
And that's the reason we'd like to get the story and what you're doing here to promote safety. We feel it would make a good feature for our Sunday magazine section.
We're not doing anything spectacular, or that isn't being done in many places in this community.
Well, that might be, but whatever it is, it must be pretty good to get so many awards.
Well, naturally, we're proud of those. But to answer your question, I think the reason for our success, at least the main reason, might well be the sincere interest top management of this plant has for the safety of every employee working here. A motor repairman was moving a motor using a hoist. A hook was used to fasten the motor to the hoist to lift it. He pulled on the motor toward himself, and the hook came loose, allowing the motor to fall to the floor and on his foot. Now, this accident didn't happen in this plant, but it could. I noticed on my last inspection trip a number of instances where hoists were being used without chain hitches. And on 2 cases, the load was being pulled toward the worker instead of pushed.
We do have rules on proper use of hoists, don't we?
Yes, we do.
This sort of thing can cause a serious accident. Let's get right after this one. Make sure that the foremen emphasize this in their safety talks to the men. Let's check on this again at our next meeting.
That's the sort of thing that goes on in management safety meetings. It reviews and studies safety performances and conditions regularly and recommends plant safety policies. The superintendents meet regularly with their supervisory staffs and pass on the plant safety policies and, in turn, receive suggestions from them on how to improve safety conditions. In a similar way, supervisors pass the safety policy applications on to employees. But it's a two-way deal we have here. Works either down the ladder or up the ladder as well. Safety is part of every man's job here. We're all one big safety committee. Employees offer suggestions to their supervisors or through the suggestion plan system. We're all plugging for the same thing here, a safe place to work for everyone, top to bottom. Now, mind you, it wasn't always this way, and we don't pretend to be perfect now, but we have come a long way. Today, every new employee gets careful instructions on plant safety rules. He is given safety training by his foreman on his specific job, and throughout his career, his foreman will talk to him frequently and regularly about safety, his own safety. Today, the plant has full-time safety personnel who make regular inspections to make sure safety policies are being followed. who give technical assistance in devising mechanical safety devices, guardrails, bumper guards, and such things, all to the end of preventing accidents from happening. Today, every new machine is carefully checked to make sure it's properly guarded before it is released to production. New improved guards are continually being designed and installed, guards of many types, but having a common purpose, to help employees work safely. Safety glasses are available to all plant employees, as well as safety shoes, safety hats, and safety equipment for specialized jobs. Work continually goes on to improve ventilation in the plant where needed, to provide adequate fume and dust control, to eliminate accident hazards over which the employee has no control. Today, employees are trained in first aid, and many times this training has been directly responsible for the saving of a life not only at work, but elsewhere. And in the medical department, a full-time staff stands ready to take care of minor ailments and injuries, as well as emergencies, in addition to working with the safety department to study and eliminate any hazards affecting employees' health in the plant. However, in the final analysis, the success of our program, of any program, depends upon each individual. No one can be safe for him. When the urge to ignore a safety rule, ignore a safety guard, violate a safety practice, in a word, when the urge to take a chance comes to it, he alone must make the decision whether he will take the chance or not.
So you see, sir, people like George Potter are careless because they just don't realize the cost of carelessness, because they aren't trained in safety practices, because they don't recognize that safety is an individual matter. They lull themselves into thinking they can get by, that accidents are something over which they have no control. Yet places like this industrial plant, that school we stopped in on, the driver's training sessions, are proving that that sort of an attitude can be changed. Education, continuous education, is the answer.
Well, are you convinced now that accidents don't just happen, George Potter?
I guess I did have the wrong slant in this accident business. You can count on me from now on.
Oh, that's just it, sir. We can't count on him at all.
What's this?
Like I tried to tell you, sir, several times. George is already in the midst of an accident. A rather bad one, I might add. In fact, I don't see how he can come out of it alive.
Accident? Me? Why, all I was doing was hauling...
Matter of a frayed rope, sir. Using it to haul bricks overhead. Oh, he was aware of it, all right. Just took a chance with it, that's all. Took one too many. It broke just when I went to get him.
But if the rope broke...
I sort of stopped time for him, sir. A little irregular, I know. But there was no other way.
Frayed rope. Well, I thought... I meant to fix that when I got around to it. I didn't think...
Didn't think?
Give me a second chance. It won't happen again. I swear it won't.
There are no second chances, George Potter. Every number up there represents the name of a man, woman, or child who would give anything to have had a second chance.
But I understand now.
Shall we go?
Yes, sir? The special section? Right away, sir.
Sorry to have taken up your time like this, George. In fact, I'm sorry about the whole thing. Sorry about the whole thing.
I didn't think it would happen.
Sorry about the whole thing. Sorry about the whole thing.
I didn't think. Meant to fix that frayed rope. Took a chance. Should have fixed that frayed rope. I didn't think. I didn't think this would happen.
He'll be okay. But what a lucky, lucky guy.
A lucky guy.
Oh, boy, Doc. Luck didn't have anything to do with it. What happened to me was because I didn't use my head. At least, not to think with. I know that now. And I'll tell you something else. I'm probably the only guy who ever got a second chance. Maybe the only guy who ever will.